The claim by the church cleric, Pastor Yakilome, about salt consumption. When you heard it, what's your take on it?
My mind just went back to when he was doing those miracles on TV.
Hello, my wonderful viewers. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome to Agapen TV. You're right on Agapen TV. Please, if you're coming first on my channel, don't forget to subscribe, share, and like all our videos. We are right here with a same man of God, Pastor Chris Oyakhilome. A Minister of Health has come out to attack Pastor Chris over salt cream. Let's just quickly get into the video. You're going to listen to many things they said on concerning what Pastor Chris said. Let's just quickly get into the video.
Time ago, I was praying. This is several months back. And the Lord, just like in several other things, said something to me that really got my attention. He told me about salt. I said, salt? What's that? Wonderful. Pastor Larry, what do you think?
Thank you, sir. Would appear to be common knowledge. And that's what makes it so dangerous. But thanks for bringing us the truth, sir, because now that we know, things will change.
When I was praying and the Lord was telling me about it, I didn't know that the other voices from the medical field who have spoken about it, But once I told the media department, I said, go check it out. Something about salt. They're deceiving the world. See, because the Spirit of God told me clearly. I want to show you something from the Word of God so you understand. We don't just come up with stuff. No. It's as the Spirit of God leads and guides us. Even if no voice said anything, I would have still told you. In fact, I already told you before showing you the documentary. I already said so. Before knowing that anybody else said anything about it. I would have still told you. Because the wisdom of God is given to us. To lead us, to guide us. We listen to the so-called professionals. And many have died listening to them. Think how many people have suffered strokes and all kinds of ailments because they listen to their doctor. Think how many people have been afraid of salt. They say, in fact, they've eliminated salt from their food. They don't want this because so much salt. Well, I thought so myself. I thought so too. I thought so. But this is why I talk to you about praying in tongues. Because from praying in tongues, the Spirit of God talks to me. He guides me. I speak in tongues and solutions come. So if you will pray in tongues, you'll be amazed what knowledge will be brought to you. The Bible tells us when we speak in tongues, we're speaking mysteries. Mysteries.
Alright, if you just joined us, it's still Journalist Hangout. I still have Paul Dada right here and Babajide Kolade Otitoju. Now let's move straight to our next conversation. A viral video where the president and founder of Love World Incorporated, also known as Christ Embassy, Pastor Chris Oyakhilome, encouraged increased salt consumption is ruffling feathers. Pastor Oyakhilome had in the video claimed that Africans are deliberately discouraged from using salt to drive the sales of sodium-based medications. But the Federal Ministry of Health and Social Welfare has issued a warning to Nigerians to discontinuance the charismatic clergyman. In response, the ministry clarified that while sodium, a key component of salt, is necessary for the body's function, it must be consumed in moderation. Okay, first of all, BKU, the claim by the church cleric, Pastor Oyakhilome, about salt consumption. When you heard it, what's your take on it?
My mind just went back to when he was doing those miracles on TV and the regulatory body NBC ordered Nigerian TV stations to stop showing those miracles because it was becoming a farce. And the truth is, pastors are powerful in our country, they are influential. It's like that. Even in other African countries, people have yielded their brains to their pastors. To their remember, even somewhere in East Africa, a pastor said people should go and be eating grass.
Yes.
And they foolishly went and they were eating grass just to obey somebody who's a human being just like them.
My pastor said,
these are gods of men, not men of God. That's who they are. And the whole people who read, because we don't need to be doctors, medical doctors, before we get some information. Too much consumption of salt since I was a kid. My mom used to tell me that this will lead to hypertension and all that. And because of change in dietary attitude, we now have people as young as 7 years suffering from hypertension.
Absolutely.
People as young as 7 years having kidney failure. People as young as 6 years suffering from obesity. Abi? That's how you people pronounce it, not obesity. For many years I was calling it obesity. It was my own.
I understand.
So people must realize that things are changing. I've related an experience for when I went to Louth to do a documentary. I saw kids in the cancer ward. It troubled me. It troubled me for weeks. It troubled me even up to today. Sometimes I still remember that encounter. Because I entered the ward, was allowed to take the camera into the ward, designed with sweet colors. No children like colors a lot. But man, it was tough. But at the end of the day, we are human beings, even as journalists, and we have our emotions. To see a 7-year-old, 8-year-old suffering from cancer, you know how painful it can be, especially when chemotherapy is brought into the picture. It's an unbearable pain. But we can help mitigate some of these things by addressing the matter of what we ingest into our bodies. Where pastors are now telling people that they should consume salt in ample quantity, they are trying to push people to early graves. As far as I'm concerned, because it will damage your kidney, it will lead to hypertension. And all kinds of preventable diseases. Yes. This is, you can, on your own, you can even just check. Just check. And we can't be in a situation in where I was watching an interview, somebody was told, use Google. He refused. Because he knew if he used Google, he will be exposed right there as ignorant. So you can, as we are discussing now, you can check what are the harmful effects of too much sodium consumption. Do you know, even Pringles, I stopped buying it for my children because the level of sodium in Pringles is unbearable. It's just too much. You can get children like it, you can consume it, but do you know the damage that it will be doing to their body incrementally? It could be several years down the line that you start paying. So people should just ignore this pastor who has said, oh, consume. Otherwise, if they choose not to ignore him and they are consuming salt like they are consuming ice cream, they are going to pay for it.
It will cause the pandemic. But when, religious leaders misinform the public, especially in the area of health, who should hold them to account?
I think even Christians should hold them to account. Christians, government.
Yes.
Say, I am unapologetic.
If he's doing what he's preaching.
Thank you very much. I also thought about this. I said, this man is in his 60s. Will any man in their right mind at that age be talking about much of sodium intake? Perhaps he is teaching what he would rather not practice. The funny thing is that when some of the members run into trouble, those that follow pastors sheepishly, they do not have access to, they cannot afford the kind of health care that these pastors
exactly.
If anything happens to Oyakhilome today, he can fly abroad and get
He has the funds.
He has the funds. But when his members start having NCDs, non-communicable diseases, as a result of things like kidney failure, like heart issues or whatever it is.
And also, let's not forget some religious leaders who tell, don't go to the hospitals, come to church for healing. Instead of go to hospital.
There was a man, I don't want to say pastor, because they will know who I'm talking about. I was close to him. When he died, his children went into his closet. His drawer was full of hypertensive drugs that he was not taken. He ignored it. And he suffered cardiac arrest and social. Can you imagine that? Now, if you are encouraging people to deliberately consume what will lead to high blood pressure, nobody is saying sodium does not have its use to the body. But things must be consumed in moderation. And what is suggested is 5 grams a day. That is the World Health Organization threshold, 5 grams a day. If you are telling people to consume more than that, then that means you know what those doctors do not know.
Absolutely.
And you must be ready to explain it. Maybe in a debate, let's get a scientist, a solid healthcare practitioner.
Exactly.
Let's have him spar with you. So that you can share ideas.
Exactly.
Where is your idea coming from? When did you suddenly chance on this idea that you now want to sell to our people? Remember, even during COVID, some people were consuming salt. They thought that by consuming salt, and people died. Yes, some people died in the process. Our people do not listen to pastors sheepishly.
Exactly.
I will never be in that situation. I'm a Christian. I do my best to support God's work. Those who are close to me, they know that. A lot of my resources, go into supporting God's work. And I know that God likes charitable people. I try my best. I do that. I will not come and praise myself here. But I try my best to please God in my own way. I know I'm not a saint. I've never told anybody that I'm a saint.
Absolutely.
Especially if by doing that, I could actually cause people's death.
Absolutely.
There's no way that you ingest salt in ample quantity that it won't have a terrible repercussion.